You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? Asshole Consulting here. Well, today we're going to earn our reputation, but 5 seconds of truth is better than a decade of lies. Hey, asshole, I know this question is beat to death, but no, not in your individual case, though. See, Eh, most other people, yes, not yours. You are unique, and I do mean that. We're going to get to the ugly part later. Uh, but don't one, there's a lot of hope, and two, don't beat yourself up over this. So I could see where you're confused on this. I know this question is beat to death, but I've been having trouble with women. I'm a mid 20 something man. I live on my own. He works in public accounting. He makes a lot of money, especially from where he lives. I'm trying to keep you anonymous, and he's working on a CPA. Well, it sure the hell ain't that. So that's not your problem. Of course, girls wouldn't. They can't tell their ass from their face when it comes to whether a guy is a good financial prospect or not. So don't, I'm an accountant. Expect them to snore. I just moved here from New York and have actually been watching your content now for about 6 months. I've tried online dating and the dating apps in which I get likes and the occasional match, but messages rarely go anywhere if I even receive a response to begin with. All right. If you have not, what's the one? Go get the book of numbers analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women, and please read why it's a waste of time to do online dating. And if you're going to do it, there's a very precise way. All right. But just stop that. Again, not your fault. Nothing to do with you. Online dating is a waste of time. That's everybody's experience, unless you're a drop dead gorgeous man, which you are not. Maybe kinds of man, but rarely ever go anywhere. Bah, 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 bah. I have met a handful of girls who I was regularly talking to, but they eventually moved on because they were too far away. I've been going to the gym on and off for at least 8 years. You're white, 6'2" and 205 pounds. You sent me a picture where you're shirtless. You are in shape in that regard. And it shows. I've approached women in person, but have met with soft rejections. I have a boyfriend. I'm busy. I don't know. That's exactly what everybody else's responsible will be. I almost made it with a girl back in college, in which we went on a few dates and managed to make it as far as being the cuddle guy. You didn't make it that far. But she told me she was on her period and couldn't have. Oh, it's such bullshit. Oh, and in her words, she would do it if she wasn't on it, in which I knew that was just a lie. Good, you got the street smarts. Nothing wrong with you. You're not delusional. You're not delusional. After this, she stopped dating me and found another guy, which sucked and has messed with me mentally ever since. I'm not a virgin since I paid for it at 19. Smart move again. And have been on a 7-year dry spell. Go, just pay for it, man. Just pay for it. Book yourself a flight out to Vegas and go pay for it. Which it's not legal in Vegas. It is legal in Pahrump. It is illegal in Clark County. It is legal in Nye County or whatever county Pahrump is in. But I abhor that party scene and have never had success because it's impossible to have any kind of conversation in that kind of environment. I just end up pissed off. Yes, stop doing that. Stop wasting your time there. I would have saved myself like a decade of time not going to nightclubs. I never had any. God, I wish I had an older brother. No one ever sat me down and says the reason you don't like it is because you can't succeed there. It's loud. It's annoying. It's obnoxious. It's impossible. It's already enough that you got to go and approach a girl and be charming and charismatic. It's really hard when there's music blaring. I've had girls flirt with me in the past, but they have either been fat, ugly, or if they were hot, I wouldn't pick up on the fact they were hitting on me until a significant time after it happened, which is too late. I've had friends and family members tell me that whenever I'm in public, some girls will be checking me out. I doubt that. I doubt it, but I simply don't notice until after they tell me, in which they always wait until after it happens to tell me. I then tried online dating overseas and received Chad-like treatment from Asian women there. I received about 600 plus connection requests in 1 week, but of course they're an ocean away. I used to talk to a girl from China for almost 2 years until it fell through. I also talked to a girl from Vietnam and other. Okay, you're not doing the unless you go there, you are not going to do online dating overseas. And I also want you, because Jermaine, you get this book, The Land of Losers. He was in somewhat of a similar situation as you. Please read that book. And then I encourage you to go overseas, especially Asia. Absolutely. But not first until we do some work on you. So stop wasting your time online with that. Until it fell through. I also talked to a girl via the Philippines. I did have a thing going with a Russian girl. Oh God, no. Okay, no, former Soviet bloc. No, those are all scams. I'm not saying there aren't scams in Asia. I'm not saying that, but man, just why dance in a minefield when you don't have to? But due to distance and the language barrier, that fell through as well. I have a sibling who has more success than me. People keep telling me that me and him look identical. No, I doubt it, but I don't think that's true given my experience versus his. It's embarrassing anytime I go to family events. If family has to have a girlfriend, I tell them no. They just try to put down, they just try and put down on me, in which it all does is turn into an argument with them. I'm so tired of this, and I feel like I've done everything else in my life correctly, which you have. But Dania is the only area I fall short in. I'd like to improve my dating life, but I'm also ready to grab the passport and hightail it over to East Asia and live a normal life working remote. Seriously, get this book. Get that book. Anyway, what's wrong with me? I like a video request anonymous states I mentioned. The only thing wrong with you is you are ugly. You have sent me some pictures. They're normal. Let me get to them. You are in shape. So there's your shirt. You are in shape. There's no doubt about that. Your glasses suck. You have beady eyes, and your haircut needs to get nuked from orbit. But then, okay, here's one with you in jeans and you're all right. That's a nice shirt. But when you take your eyes with those glasses, your haircut that needs to be nuked from orbit, and the fact, and this is not your fault, you have baby face, you got baby fat. That's it. So this will help you when you're older, but definitely not now. But you have these all line up together. You look like Pat. It's a Saturday night. You look like a trans, like someone who's in between, not transitioning. Like, okay, that's a guy, but he's really putting the effort to become a girl because I thought it was a girl, or that's a girl, but I thought he was a guy. You look like you're on the decision stage, and you have got to get rid of that look. You've got to get rid of that look. So with your hair, I would do not the one you got now. Absolutely not. Your glasses, if you can go without glasses, I do that. It looks like you got some facial hair, if you can grow a goatee or some facial hair, I would absolutely do it because that's what you can immediately do to fight the baby face. Your clothes look fine. You are hitting the gym, so you're doing all the hard work. These are cosmetic things that you can do. Different haircut, new glasses, or maybe get contacts. But the glasses, I don't know what you can do with your eyes. Here's one where you look smiling, your eyes look normal. This one, your eyes look normal there. Maybe it's just bad photo pictures. But so haircut, new glasses, or contacts. And that right there will take care of most of it. All right. But your baby face makes you look fat when you're not. Because if I look at your face, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's fat. Not skinny fat, fat. Then I saw the shirtless picture. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm like, this guy, you almost have definition going on. Could you lose a couple more pounds? Yeah, okay. But you're not fat. You're in very good shape. So what I'm going to recommend is you got to change your diet. If you want to get the girls, okay? And I don't know how hard that's going to be. It's hard enough to change your diet. But I don't know, like this would be more of a Jack Napier or Drew Bay question. How do you get rid of baby fat in your face? Matter of fact, what I would do is I would look that up on the internet. How do I get rid of baby fat in your face? I know it's losing fat, so I know it's diet. So like you go hardcore keto, like no carbs or very little. You just keep up your same workout routine. You're obviously doing that. But yeah, man, you got a pudgy face. And I don't know any other way to get rid of that than to just go carbless. and to really change your diet. And you'll lose weight, but the good news is because you're working out, you're going to get some pretty good definition, I'd imagine, in your chest and your arms. And I would do those things because you're trying. You got the career and the profession down. Your fashion ain't bad. It's just your face and the glasses and the beady eyes, and God, that haircut, it needs to be nuked, and then we gotta, like, I don't know, pour acid on the ashes. That's a horrible haircut. Anything but that one. And then over time, then you'll improve. You'll have a better looking face because it ain't your height either. We know that. It's not your height. It's none of those things. Right? Maybe your approach is a little awkward, but I don't imagine it is. I'd imagine after a while you've been doing online dating. And then once you thin your face down, maybe put a 5 o'clock shadow on it. All right, you get a completely different look. Then try again with the girls. Don't waste any time now with the girls, not at all, especially not in the United States. They're not interested. I'm on my period. Here's the get the fuck out of here. Oh, look, the get the fuck out of here bus just pulled up. Why don't get your lying ass on it? And no, I'm not paying for the fare. So there's no reason to try for girls until you have maximized your looks, because then you're gonna get the best girls rather than doing it now where you're gonna get the lower quality girls. Fine, absolutely. Try local American girls if you like. Try online. All right. Be brief with your online dating. But if your goal is to get married or have something serious, then I would be going overseas. All right. Can you go overseas right now? Sure, you could go visit. Should you maybe meet one or two gals and interact online, making sure it's not a scam? Maybe go meeting a nice girl. Sure, go ahead. Absolutely. Modern Life John, talk to him. He'll tell you what to do. Even this guy, nice guy, I think he's got an email. He probably consult you on that. But until your career, I'm assuming they want you in the office. Until you can work remotely, you're not really going to be able to date for realsies in a foreign country. And so, if there's American girls who want to go out with you, ask the girls out, fine, cool. Don't have a lot of expectations. But maybe establish a couple online friendly relationships with some girls overseas, kind of conveniently all in the same area. So if you fly over there, you could kind of meet them all at the same time. And then you being an accountant, you should be able to set up a little side gig, make some money, work remotely, that in 4 years time, you kind of put your dues in over at the firm, and then you get yourself a client base, and then you go overseas, and you're going to be in an environment already. Now I'm concerned 600 plus responses. That sounds kind of like a spam. Like, I'm a little concerned about you being taken advantage of, but I guarantee you there are some real responses in there, and there's more than what you'd have here in the United States. So long term, yes, I think it would be a better idea to go overseas if you're interested in girls, because the girls they're just not that interested in guys here. They simply aren't. So yeah, I mean, the reason you're not getting the girls is because you're ugly. You got an ugly face. Thankfully, that's very easily changeable. Because everything else looks like it's pretty good, dude. Everything else. And and I'd be kind of curious, like a before and after. Because especially if you got a little 5 o'clock shadow going on, and and then and then you're overseas, date some gal who's like 5 foot nothing. All right. So link below. What do I got linked below? Bachelor Pad Economics, I think. Whatever else. But yeah, seriously, for those of you having trouble dating in the United States, check this out. Land of Losers. It's a good book. It's kind of depressing and sad up front. But there you go. All right, let's go to the super chats. Drew, $2 just maxed out my Roth IRA today, and it feels good. Good. David Hogg. Oh, good old David Hogg. Australian though, $10. Here's your $2. What's the rate? I remember when it was 1-to-1, and then you decided to go labor and socialist. Not you, sir, but Reen Schwartzer, $5. Dude, head over to the Legion of Men. Dude, lefties way happier in Eastern Europe. I'm 27, considering passport myself, man. It ain't just you if you can, yes. I think Reen is saying go overseas. Look, the reputation of going overseas or the mail order bride, that not irrational reputation it has, considered accounting for that. Today, I've seen the number. That's why I wrote a book called The Book of Numbers. It's not a lie, it's not edgy, it's not clickbait news. It's a fact. Women in the West, but particularly the United States, are just not that interested in guys. Certainly not your average guy. They don't want to get married. They don't want to have kids. If they want to have kids, it's only going to be with a top tier guy, to the point now, what doesn't it? Okay. Doesn't it tell you you're not in the wrong when women now are trying to get their eggs frozen or have kids in their 40s? Doesn't it tell you who's right and who's wrong in that? Do you tell you how desperate the situation is? They would here's the insult, I guess. They would rather, and I have a friend who consults these middle-aged gals about getting pregnant. None of them are married. None of them want to get married. They'd rather go to the sperm bank and raise a kid without a father than have sex with you. They can't find 160 million American men. They can't find one that's like reasonable or decent. Life is too short. You're human. You want women. You want to have kids. You know, leave a line in the water for the American girls, but man, I'd be going overseas. You just don't have the time. You don't have the time to be texting girls hours upon end to not get a date. It sounds like to you, Mr. Client, sir, you've done a lot of cuddling and dating and this and that, and you got to the cuddle stage. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. You don't have that time, especially now that you're a professional. Drew, $5. Hot yoga helps get the fat out of the face. Okay, there you go. There's an idea. Consider that, client. Also, training in boxing and sweating out all the garbage work. People notice it with me constantly. Okay, cool. Thanks, Drew. $2. What do you think about buying land in West Virginia? I like West Virginia, but I've only driven through a little bit of it on my motorcycle. I like the rolling hills. Sure, go ahead. I guess, right. If you don't have land already, yeah, man. Me, I'm looking at property overseas once I get off my fat ass and do it myself. Zeke Meister, $5. Cappy, I tried to tell him, but my Baptist friend thinks God will provide him a good wife. And when God doesn't, guess what he's going to say? Well, the Lord had a plan. Tell your Baptist friend he's a spineless, cowardly fuck who doesn't want to take responsibility and outsources his responsibility to God, and God is pissed off, and God is going to punish him by not providing him a wife. That's one thing I hated about, especially dating Christian girls. I'd logically ask them, like, well, if this and this and this don't happen, what's that? The Lord has a plan. It's like, no, you're just a lazy bitch who doesn't want to take responsibility. We've been going on the Christian girls. Most Christian girls don't like sex. It's good to tell you. Oh, I said it. I said it. Sorry. The ones who do are married and having it. Okay. But most Christian girls, when they're out, they don't like sex. They don't. They really don't. And then you're like, well, shouldn't you stay sexy? Or like, you better give your husband, well, Lord has a plan. Translate to English is, I don't want to have sex, but I don't want to be, but I still want to imagine my imaginary 10 out of 10 husband is just around the corner who will be okay with a hand job once every 6 months and only sex to breed more Christians, preferably with him jerking off into a cup and me using a turkey baster. There, said it. 88% of you Christian girls don't like it, go fuck yourself. That's my statement. Write it down and shove it up your ass. No one's going to know where that one's from either. I don't know where Joe Hallenbeck is. That's my statement. Write it down and shove it up your ass. All right, there you go. Questions, answers, ASOconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.